I have some difficulties now. Tomorrow we have to leave. How to organize everything? So normal human problems I do have. Yeah, what we will do this?
Right.
Not spiritual problems. Only my problem, difficult to sit long time. I try to sit, but still my posture is not so perfect.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't mind too much about your posture.
But you know, if I'm sitting straight, relaxed, it's really working better, yeah?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting like this and struggling, oh, why it's so painful, how long should I sit? So this is, so I should practice yoga more, maybe, to get improve my body.
But, okay, you're right. If you sit in a posture and you can somewhat sit in that without getting too painful and you can sit straight, it's energetically helpful.
Да, если вы умеете сидеть прямо, расслабленно, то энергетически это более эффективно.
But you say then sometimes you have, that means you sort of drifting off. You're not more, you're getting a bit sleepy or you're just dreaming away. Otherwise you wouldn't.
No, I just get tired to sit straight. My back is just want to relax. Oh.
Well, then maybe you get up, walk a bit around, lie down for a moment and then sit again instead of forcing you to sit longer.
But others sit longer than me.
Oh, that's terrible. This is not a competition. We can make an Olympia category. Who sits longer without moving?
Соревнования вы не можете соревноваться, кто дольше сидит прямо и расслабленно. Yeah, I should accept myself. So I'm not
Right. What matters is not how long you're sitting, whether you're alert.
Суть не в том, сколько вы можете сидеть.
And some people have more difficulties with their body in that sense than others. Some people can never sit like this as you are sitting now, and then they can sit on a chair and meditate.
Ну да, некоторые просто на кресле могут медитировать.
I mean, everybody has to find for themselves the right balance. It's nothing wrong. A little bit of self-discipline is nothing wrong.
Да, каждый должен найти свой
But at the
баланс.
same time, you don't have to torture yourself.
Немного дисциплины не повредит.
And if you look in yourself, if you look in your heart,
Если вы смотрите в себя,
then you become aware how much is healthy. That you push yourself a little or then not and relax rather.
как найти правильный баланс. Before I was able to do more meditations, and now it's less comparing with the past. So that's why I'm feeling do more. And other friends doing 30-day courses, very serious meditators. I have friends.
Yeah.
So I'm lazy to do 20-day course, 30-day course, 10-day maximum.
But remember, this sitting meditation is just a means. It's not the goal that at the end you can just sit and not move anymore.
Помните, что сидячая медитация – это средство, чтобы достичь чего-то, это не самоцель.
It's certainly helpful to become aware what's going on if you sit quietly
Очень
and try to
полезно,
keep quiet.
когда вы сидите в покое, вы можете видеть, что происходит внутри вас.
And it's helpful in that sense because it's more concentrated. If you are busy all the time, it's more difficult to be really aware what's going on.
И, конечно, полезно, когда вы сконцентрированы, вы сможете глубже смотреть в себя, чем в сравнении с тем, когда вы чем-то заняты.
But still, it's just a help. What matters is whether your attention is learning to dive into the source.
Но суть в том, чтобы ваше внимание шло к источнику.
And so never mind that previous you could sit longer than now. Sit as long as it's okay, as you feel you can push a little, but then if you feel it would be better not to push anymore, then either get up or lay down and keep on meditating, keep on connecting, walking around or lying.
Надо стараться искать баланс, не сравнивать с прошлым, и там походить, полежать, может быть, как свой баланс такой.
And then you can sit down again for some time.
Снова садиться.
But it's still an identification with my self-image. If I'm so concerned how much time I can sit.
А образ себя, как бы подпитывается тем, сколько часов вы можете сидеть.
Then again you're missing the point. Then you want to. It's bound to happen. Once we go on the spiritual path, then we have all kinds of ideas what should happen, and invariably we just create again the same story with a bit of a spiritual coloring. But it's still all about the me, I.
Духовные интересы, они также все крутятся вокруг я такой духовный, я такой особенный.
So don't worry whether you are capable or whether others are sitting longer or not. Just find the way how you can connect best with yourself, with that timelessness, with that sense of presence, and relax into that. Dive into that. Even if your practice is that you sit for some time, then you get up again, walk around, and then you sit again, and then you get up again. So what? What matters is that you connect.
Главное контактировать, соединяться с собой.
And learn to let go in it, learn to relax in it.
И учитесь расслабляться в этом. Another thing, after meditation, I'm very hungry for different information. I go to internet about politics, different, a lot of information available now, and my mind very become hungry for it.
Yeah.
It's after meditation, a lot of entertainment of the mind.
Right. Maybe you give yourself a little time after the meditation. Don't get up and then just jump in the internet and brrr. It's like if you can have some time in between, it can sort of better settle down and get stronger.
Да, вот если медитация прошло бы какое-то время, не вовлекаться в развлечения в интернете, там, не читать политику.
It's also one way that the person doesn't want to give up. It feels threatened if you practice too long, and if you start to think deeper, then the old fellow somehow doesn't want to give up, and that's one of the reactions. Then you jump to immediately fill the mind again and just think of everything else, but not be conscious yourself.
Ну, не хочет сдаваться, ну, после медитации он сразу хочет наполниться, чем-то вот надо это понять.
On one hand, we want to get rid of all that craziness, of all that running here and there, and being always in stress in a way, mental stress.
В каком смысле мы хотим быть все в стрессе, в напряжении.
We want to get rid of that, we want to be liberated, we want the truth, we want peace. But then, somehow, that aspect that habitually has always manifested doesn't want to give up, and always finds tricks to prevent you from going further. I mean, nothing wrong going on the internet and going for informations, but try not to let yourself just being pulled like this when you come out of your practice, but keep that attitude as good as you can. And then even when you go for information, try not to completely forget about it, but when you are on the net, you still relax and feel that sense of being present.
Старайтесь, да, не развлекаться слишком, быть осознанным и расслабленным, даже если вы развлекаете себя.
You're longing, it's natural, because the usual human state is not the natural state. And it's there, that longing, it's in everybody, to be natural, to be naturally at ease and peace. But then, when we really go deeper, then the old fellow comes back and says, I didn't mean it like that. Somehow, in the mind, in the imagination, all those ideas about peace, about liberation, are simply, we transform them in just a new enjoyment for me as a person. The person doesn't want to give up. And then, if you practice and you really start to push a bit the limits of the personal experience, then the mind, the person is creating all kinds of tricks to just keep the whole thing going. So when you see that, when you come out of practice and you see that it's pulling you, then just try not to give way immediately and just watch that story. Observe what it is doing to your experience. If you don't give way, if that pull is there to go and run on the internet or whatever, and don't do it, and then see how you are experiencing the reactions, and learn to relax, and then that the power of it is reducing. And then more and more you are free to decide whether you are going for the net or not. All these things, they are not even about information, they are just distractions, that we somehow can put the attention somewhere and forget about our troubles.
Yeah, any information will do.
Any information will do. Right. Yeah. Go instead for a walk first. If you can in nature, if you are in a city, big city, then walk in the city.
What about desire to eat after meditation?
Desire to eat after meditation?
Yes. Is it the same?
No, it's not the same. Sometimes really the system is really hungry. It's not simply the same mental stuff like the internet. But is this happening a lot to you, that you meditate and you feel like eating after that? Then maybe you also eat a bit before. Nothing wrong. It's better that maybe you don't have to stuff your face, that that you can't hold yourself up again, but that you rather have eaten, that you don't feel hungry when you start, and then it will come less. I mean, with eating, it's not that an easy thing because somehow or other we do have to eat.
Не так просто, потому что на него
It's not like the internet, whether you go on the net or not, you still survive.
Вы выживете без интернета, но без еды.
But eating somehow or other, except if you are some special hatha yogi who doesn't need to eat anymore, somehow we have to eat to survive.
Вы должны есть, чтобы выжить.
But basically, it's better if you have a little something when you practice,
Ну да, надо,
that you're not completely empty.
чтобы не быть совсем пустым.
Then it may also be less that when you come out that you feel very hungry. And if you feel hungry, don't just go and eat big meals, but eat something.
Если вы голодны, не ешьте сразу немного. Поешьте немного.